All right, welcome back, Lap's Quest Barbecue Show. This is a short one, a quick bite, and really it's going to be all about charcoal. How to use your Weber. In my case, I've got a Weber, you might have something else. Charcoal barbecue. It's kind of like a 101, so I'm going to make it a quick bite. Inspiration for this episode came from Mark, who was actually the bidder of a Weber kettle that I gave away as a charity auction to fund scholarships for youth. After he got the Weber charcoal barbecue, he said, I'm really excited, but I don't know much about it. And we were kind of going back and forth about, what charcoal to use and how to keep it warm and how to start it and what's the best. Anyway, so it gave me the idea to do a nice simple episode based on taking a charcoal barbecue, getting it ready, getting it up to temperature, managing the heat. We're going to cook some Jamaican jerk chicken today. And by the way, that Jamaican, where is it? With some spice from my friends here at House of Barbecue Experts. And thanks to my friends there, I met them in Montreal at the Cial show. So shout out to the Cial Food Innovation Show. So from Quebec, La Belle Provence. Anyway, that's kind of a side note. More than anything else, this episode is really dedicated to Barbecue 101. Let's get started. Well, let's get started with the basic tools of the trade. So we got a Weber kettle barbecue. This one I like because it had the stand to it, which kind of folds down and folds up, but I like a little bit of cooking surface. It's got a nice ash management system. So I'll talk about that in a bit. And of course our charcoal. So I chose today for this episode the Jealous Devil Max extra large briquette. Sometimes I use chunks, sometimes I use briquette. I've been trying different kinds of charcoal, but I'm kind of keen to give this another try. I tried it last summer, but I want to give it another try. I've learned more about this barbecue briquette, and it's got some great product features I'll talk about in a bit. Super hot, very pure, hard, very well compressed. The devil is in the details. See that? The devil's in the details. Pure South American hardwood, no chemicals, no fillers. So that's going to be a natural choice for me. And we are going to put that in your chimney. Do you need a chimney? Well, it's a good thing to have because I find you can light your barbecue coals a number of ways. You can put electric starter in it. You can do all kinds of different things. You can just start them old school, little lighter fluid. There's a bunch of ways to do it. I like doing it in these. You can get these from, your Webers, and a lot of folks carry them. So you put your charcoal pilot in here. I will show you that. And then to start it, I use these things called flamers. And they're basically straw with a little bit of paraffin wax. Maybe it's just all in my head, I don't know. But I don't like using lighter fueled. I think that just kind of, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I mean, if there's no additives in the charcoal, why would I put additives on it to get it started? So I use this, and I'll show you how I use a couple of these. Again, I'll put a link in the show notes to where you can buy these. And then we're gonna put some hardwood on it. That's right, so I like now in my charcoal, do a bed of charcoal, but then put some nice hardwood. In this case, I'm using the Vermont Castings Canadian Tire brand cherry, but just to put some hardwood chunks on top of the charcoal, and then you're cooking on wood, like, Jamaican or Argentinian. So there you go. Let's get started. So first things first, I like to take my lid off. I like the Weber. It's got this nice system that you can rest the lid there, which is a good thing to do. In the Weber, you can move the grate. I'm going to take this grate out. There we go. And so we've got some charcoal left here. So I put my gloves on. I forgot to put my gloves on. So let me put my gloves on. So in this, you can see from my last cook, lots of chunks, or a few chunks left. So, sometimes I throw these in to the chimney. I don't get too fussed about it. And then there's a lever down here that you move back and forth on the Weber that kind of just moves the ash into the container. And why you want to do that is I want as much airflow from the bottom as possible. So it leaves those 3 vents wide open down there. As you see, it moves. So I want those vents wide open, get some good airflow from the bottom, and then I'll control from the top with the 3 holes on the top. So let's fill our chimney now with some charcoal. So right off the top, here's what I love about Jealous Devil, the bag, right? A bag that you can open, comme ça, pull it apart. There you go. So for these briquettes, you can reach in or pile them in this bag. Let's just pile them in. There you go. I like a lot of briquette. These are extra large, as you can see. They're not your standard briquette. Check that out. It's got a nice solid feel to it. All right, so that's your briquettes. Let's close up this bag. Bag closed, no mess. Love it. So now we get some of our flamers. Flamers are, I like to be generous, so to speak, with my flamers. I put 3 in underneath to get it going because I like a lot of heat, a lot of flames going on. And then we take our basic barbecue lighter and fire them up. There we go. And then on goes the chimney. And now we wait. Patience is important. You can't be in a rush with charcoal. It's got to build. So patience is definitely a virtue. So let's go play in the metaverse or whatever we're going to do. You can already see the smoke coming out. We'll be back when that's red, red hot and ready to go. So here's what I observe already using these Jealous Devil charcoal briquettes. We transitioned very quickly. What's it been? 5 or 7 minutes between that smoke that pours out when you first light to no smoke, just heat. And if I hold my hand over here, already after a few minutes, can barely hold my hand here. So a couple things. One is have the 3 flamers, so a good start, a good clean start. But these things are really igniting quick. I like to see these get white and hot before I dump it out. The other thing worth noting, there's no popping. So sometimes when you get, briquettes that are not dried out or they're not formed properly, you have a lot of poof, pop and sparks. Like you can see some sparks here, but it just, there goes one. But that's normal. I've done other charcoal where it's popping all over the place and it just leaves everything a mess and puts a little hot bits everywhere. These are obviously a premium product. Now, by the way, while you're watching your briquettes get going, it's midweek for me, and I don't tend to drink any alcohol midweek, but I found this new product. Check this out. Lyres, I believe is how it's pronounced, from Australia, and it is non-alcoholic mixed beverages. This one is a G&T, and it is delicious. I love a good G&T, but for a weeknight, low calories too. Check it out, it's only 60 calories. So I found this at the Restaurant Canada show, so thanks to the folks at Lyres for sending some along. I think it's available at grocery stores because, of course, it's not alcoholic. Cheers, everyone. It's been just over 10 minutes, and check out this. I'm so impressed by these Jealous Devil briquettes. They're white hot. I can barely hold my hand over here, even in my welding gloves. So this is a little tip for you. These are just plain welding gloves I got from Princess Automotive. 15 bucks for a pair versus 40 or 60. Sorry for those barbecue stores that sell very expensive gloves, but these ones have seen a lot of work, obviously. Time for these to go. You'll see some new ones debuting soon, already on order. But it's a great way to deal with your charcoal, because this does get very, very hot, so you need some kind of gloves. These ones work out just fine. All right, so from here, we're gonna dump the charcoal. It is red hot. So let's dump this charcoal in. Love that visual. There we go. And now we've got our charcoal going quite nicely. Move it around a little bit. Of course, got those gloves. We're gonna put some wood on here, and the wood is gonna add just a nice bit of smokiness. Now, not wood chips, because if you add wood chips on here, they'll be gone in seconds. So these are wood chunks I'm gonna add on here. And again, so look for the wood chunks, not the wood chips. And it's super hot, as you can tell by my reflex reaction there. Not too many. There we go. Oh, there's a nice big chunk. That's what I was looking for. Let me put that one on and nestle that one in. Pat it down, and we're good. Now that's gonna start really smoking. So before it does, get your grate back on real quick, or you'll smoke yourself out. There we go. That helps for the cleaning of the grate. Put the lid on, make sure that you're wide open here, and put your lid on securely. The smoke will come streaming out of here, and now we wait for that wood to become more like embers. So I'm not really looking for this amount of smoke, but they'll go down and you have a nice smokiness to your cook. So we'll be back. All right, about another 15 minutes has transpired, and our smoke is looking nice and smoky, so to speak, but it's kind of calmed down. It was pouring out smoke before, but now it's kind of calmed down. Our temperature, running real hot, 500 degrees, so we'll keep an eye on that. Now, as I lift this lid, you'll see it nest into the carrier here, and you'll see there's no flames coming out. That's what we want. We don't want a lot of flames, and how to manage the flames is simply by keeping the lid on. When the lid gets off, and you'll see it really gets oxygen going, the oxygen starts flowing, you can already see it, flames coming up. And you want less flames than not. You want some nice heat, but not really the flame. That smells amazing. This is jerk chicken for dinner tonight. You see, now you've got these flames coming up, so you can suppress that and control the heat by just turning off this and leaving it, you know, just a quarter open. And you can see our temperature's already down to 400. It's going to climb a bit. But by doing that, you can control your temperature to a degree. I mean, listen, when these things get hot, they get going, they get going. So if we want to move our chicken around, if we think it's too hot, we'll do it kind of offside direct heat. Right now I just put it on and I wanted to sear it. So now we got to keep a close eye on our chicken though, as things will happen fairly quickly. So there's an old saying, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. So we're doing both. We're gonna look and we're gonna cook. Oh, that's coming along quite nicely. And you see how all the heat has been, you know, kind of controlled just simply by managing the heat. Now, I wouldn't mind the little flames on this. Oh, I can smell the aroma of that jerk. It smells fantastic. So now you'll watch how quickly, with the lid open and more airflow, because there's airflow coming from the bottom, those coals start to light up again. If you have a Kamado Joe kind of product, one of those ceramic like a big egg, that's what you really got to watch. Once those things get hot, they stay hot for like 36 hours. Almost done. So let's stop looking. There we go. Maybe open a little more to get a little bit of a smoke in there for the last bit. Smoke it up a little bit. So this will bring a little more smoke from that wood through, as you can see. Again, it's all about that airflow. Alright, so we got fresh tray, fresh barbecue tongs. There, of course, never use the same tray or tongs after you're cooking. This is looking pretty good. Let's give it a try. I got my thermopop here. I've got other thermometers, as you know, meter or whatever, but I like the thermopop because it's a nice convenient, bring it out here and get to go. What are we at? 160, 167. We are done. Beautiful. Put that in here, tent it up, and we are done. Now, what we want to do, since this is smoking red hot, let's get in with our fun. Cumbrae's gave me this great scraper, nice long handle, which I love and really appreciate because it's still hot. Let's scrape some of this food off while the grate's smoking hot. But now, we shut it down. So the way to shut it down, close your lid, close your vent all the way, seal it up, and that will simmer right down, and likely you'll still have some briquettes to use next time around. All right, and that's our show. That's the episode. Let's take a look at this delicious jerk chicken. Bon appetit.